guys, welcome to Laps and Tarps. I'm Kerry, and I'm here with Morgan and
Hi.
Tom.
Hello, people.
Don't know why I was expecting a beat to say hi, and you weren't giving me.
No, I was talking. You shouldn't interrupt me.
I'm so
How
sorry.
rude, Morgan.
I apologise.
Honestly.
Cancel him. Cancel him.
Cancel
now.
him. He's a misogynist. Yeah, welcome back, everyone. Well, we're all. This is a room full of exhausted people.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just. Are you all right, Tom?
Because we don't need this information in this podcast, but I sleep with a headband on because we got really loud neighbours, so I listen to rain sounds.
Yeah,
when
one of
I fall
those
asleep.
headbands with like built-in
Yeah,
earphones.
Apparently, I queued a song last night after the rain sounds, and there's a bang, and woke me up for like 2 hours. So I am pretty tired as well.
Which also woke me up, obviously, when he got up and started pottering around.
That's so funny. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Why did I do that to myself? That's mean.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So
So,
yeah, Sleepy Tom.
but we're all exhausted, but we're still excited and full of energy to talk about.
Yeah.
Full of beans.
Hoist the Cutlass.
Still your favourite LARP, Kerry?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I was also, we were laughing about the Cutlass last week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How it was like, the name of the ship. And anyway, I was writing up the episode for last week. And I was like, oh, what was this episode of Hoist the Cutlass actually called? Because the iLab guys named their episodes. And it was called The Cutlass. I'm like,
Yep.
God, they were the main plot for this weekend,
Yep.
weren't they? They were
Shit.
like,
Absolutely.
that was like the majority of what was supposed to be happening.
It would be a shame if someone came along and just
Oh.
killed the main plot.
I've been welcome to our corrections and apologies segment.
Oh.
I've been reached out by a certain individual by the name of Circuit.
I've
The
heard
cheeky
of,
little guy
I've heard
himself.
of their antics.
Who they've asked me to inform the audience that in fact it wasn't, they did not shoot them, they beheaded them.
Well, that is a really important clarification.
Yeah,
How
it is.
dare you be so wrong?
I'm so sorry. It's fine.
I
For
mean,
the
that's
team.
just ramped up the violence extremely.
Yeah, incredible. But yeah, we finished off with me finding a dying Frenchman. But do we want to pivot away to anyone else?
I think we're pivoting straight onto lunch, to be honest, for that.
Oh, in which case,
Where I
describe
had,
what I did then.
when I forced down another pot noodle.
Oh,
Period appropriate pot noodles.
piratical pot
You
noodle.
guys all being fed on
Period,
your...
period appropriate piratical pot noodles.
See, the thing is, though, it doesn't work because it worked in the Wild West because it was period appropriate canned noodles. I don't think they had cans in
No, they didn't.
pirate days.
Barrels of noodles.
Tankard of
Barrel noodle.
barrel noodles.
Period appropriate barreled noodle.
Love it.
Just like a teeny tiny barrel. Yeah.
Do I need to start painting all my pot noodles as barrels now?
I mean, your tankard does kind of look barrel-y.
It is literally a barrel.
It would probably fit a pot noodle inside it as well because it's that big.
Yar, it is the period appropriate pot noodle in a barrel.
would it maybe look like Davy Jones when I'm just
Absolutely.
eating them all?
So yes, there we are outside an old abandoned fort. Don't know why there's an old abandoned fort on this island. Outside this old abandoned fort, and lying on the ground against a log is a dying French person wearing a blue
jacket.
blue jacket.
Also, I'll quickly correct you. Nassau, I believe, had a fort on it to defend the town. So,
Yeah, but I don't think we built this fort.
but did the pirates build the one in Nassau either?
True. Maybe there was a civilization here before.
Pirates are known for just like invading places and just taking them over.
And then just leaving, I guess.
Well, when they're forced out by the British or Spanish.
I guess, but like our island is like off all the maps, so you wonder. Anyway,
Well, apparently, until everyone just
We get a lot of
stumbles in.
visitors, though, to
we
be
do
fair.
get a lot of visitors.
Yeah.
There must be some kind of current coming to this island.
Clearly.
So we see this French person. Their arm has been ripped from their body, and their bowels are spilling out. And there's some pretty cool prosthetics as I come up. Like, oh, that's a dead person right there.
Gosh, shout out ILARPs, their prosthetic
Oh, yeah,
selection.
brilliant.
It's
Oh
so
my God.
grisly.
Love
The
playing a bit
arm-
of handy.
The cadavers were just horrific.
They were gross, yeah.
The
Yeah, I
arm
think
was
they
the
take
worst.
them out when they want to go in like the passenger lane. Just like-
The carpool lane isn't a thing
With his,
in England.
it's
Tom.
well, no, you can't get carpool lanes.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't ever seen
It's
one.
like in cities. I have seen carpool lanes.
just Johnny
like
or
in
Kitty
London.
driving around with a cadaver in the side.
Maybe it's, they've got the ribs just flapping open.
We gotta get him to hospital, quick!
yeah.
His ribs are flapping open. He's got no guts. So yeah, we see this dying French person. They kind of help me. And they start speaking about this monster. So we tried to get more information out of them, and then basically we have a very capable child surgeon comes and stitches them up. We find out their name is Jacques, and they have some friends just up the road in the fort. And we go up and we find a fort full of starving French people, who said they'd been brought here by their commander and left, abandoned. They'd gone back to Quebec.
Yeah.
So they were just abandoned. They were starving. There was a skull,
Ooh.
like with a trunk taken out.
Was there a crossbow?
Like a human skull. No, like a human skull
Okay.
on the chopping board, which was interesting.
Maybe it's a paperweight.
Maybe. You don't really need paperweights on chopping boards, but
No,
not always
true.
paper in a chopping board environment.
I feel like that might be a Belvedere thing.
Yeah, and they were really desperate for food, and they kept saying that this monster was attacking them at night. And that Hamid Jacques had got stuck outside, basically, and this monster had attacked them, but they'd managed to survive, and they'd lost most of their friends. So we're like, oh, there's a monster on the island.
What if it was Batman?
So we say to these French, maybe there's
Piratical Batman.
a piratical Batman killing the French. We see, basically we speak to them. We say, hey, you're always welcome on the, if you're looking for work, want to be a pirate, get you on the chariot. And they were like, oh, oui, Buffy. And we'd give them directions back to town. And
Did they make it back to town this time?
They did. They did. Oh, they went to the ship. They went somewhere. They're not their ship. They don't have a ship. They went somewhere. They went off screen.
Oh.
And then we had a lovely lunch in the fort, which I guess is when we're all
Little picnic.
nebulously enjoying some lunch.
What did you get up to in this time, Kerry?
I don't remember. The next thing that I've got written on my list is the stealth mission that we went on. But I'm not sure if this was later than that.
I think if it was...
Oh, I think, yeah.
This was lunchtime.
I think around lunchtime I was having a nap, and then we went on the stealth mission just after I was rested.
A stealth mission, you say?
LARP naps are big and smart, I think.
I think you have to, because the thing is, LARPing is almost like, I feel like you use as much energy as you do, going on a soft hike. You're walking around all day, you don't realize how much you're actually doing. And then you get to the evening and a lot of us drink a lot as well. So you're doing a heavy night out and then a decent hike the next day and then another heavy night out and then a decent hike. It really takes it out of you.
You need to talk to Alex. He's an expert in heavy nights and hiking.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
We should tell that story at some point. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Patreon content.
Patreon content. Tales of Alex's adventures.
But yeah, so I was absolutely knackered and I had a little nap. I didn't even really fall asleep, I don't think. I just think I was just sort of dozing for half an hour. And then when I came out of my slumber, I saw the giant goose and some crew heading into the forest. So I thought I'd loiter around town hoping that, I'd get to go on this, skirmish or whatever you'd call it. And
excursion.
Yeah, a little excursion. And then sure enough, my first mate said, oh, stick around, Diamond. We're going somewhere in a minute. And I was like, oh, giant goose. We didn't get to go on the giant goose excursion.
Goose for me?
I believe it was the
Beautiful goose
Marengo.
wedding. Yeah, the Marengo, some fabulous pictures, and I think we could hear them. This is how I know it was the same time, because I remember being army crawling through shrubbery wearing a skirt. This is not what I signed up for. It was fun, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't expecting actual real world stealth. I was expecting LARP stealth, but no, you know what? That's fine. Maybe I'll wear trousers next time. And I could just hear the Marengo giggling off in the other side of the part of the forest, just what's going on over there? That sounds like fun. I don't want to be lying in this mud right now. But no, it was fun. But did you want to talk anything about lunch, or
no? We should lunch.
Shall I go
Very
on
nice
about
lunch.
my little stealth mission?
I was also sad. I love how ILAP are really getting their money worth out of that goose.
Yeah.
An albatross, I believe it was.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
An albatross.
Okay, so I did the very honourable thing of seeing the crew and the albatross go into the woods and not following them.
Being that's the wind.
Yeah, I
can't
saw
see the
hands
wind.
up. They don't exist.
They don't exist.
That's a strange tree.
I'm just going to sit here being very excited at the possibility of seeing that wind.
Yeah, it's when we came out. I think when we were first heading to this excursion, we saw someone. We were in the forest, and we were like, oh, "Who's that over there?" They put their hand up, and we were like, "Oh, it's a strange tree. Oh, did you see that strange tree? Yes. Oh, yes. Keep going this way." It's very funny when you sort of have to well, you don't have to, but it's fun to sort of draw attention to it in a non attention.
Oh, what is that? Ignore that. That's the wind.
Yeah, so we were army crawling very patiently and diligently up to these people, and we'd like split off into 2 groups of the diamond. So people coming from different direction, and we were with this one person who was being very not stealthy. Like they just kept going through oh, that's a nice leaf. The other crew were just a bit like, what's he doing? Why is he drawing attention? And they basically standing up and sort of crouching and really badly stealthing off to the side, wearing his big feathery hat. And I was like, it's fine. If he goes over there, that's great because then they won't see us here.
What colour was the feather in his hat?
Can't remember,
Was
but
it like
it's the same person you're thinking of.
Yeah, big. It was big blue feather, I believe.
I can't remember.
Big blue
but
feather.
I
A
think,
big-
I
a
think
big
we've
blue
discussed this.
feather.
I don't think it was the same person.
Interesting.
But yeah, they were being very obvious. Still, we managed a pretty decent stealth, and I actually had found that I needed to get towards the front line a bit more than I usually would, because with my ball gowning with petrol, I was like, I'm going to have to stick near petrol and make sure they don't die, which means that me, a usually non-com person, has to be at the front line because, of course, they're getting ankle deep in everything. So when we finally got to them, we had to like charge at them. And petrol went down straight away. And I was very sure someone was going to have a serious injury because right where petrol had died, we all rushed up behind them and there was a big ditch right at the side. And I was like, okay, so I'm really going to have to run into this fight now because otherwise I'm actually risking an OC injury. Like we're all going to have to like rush off in. So I managed to get a few hits with my sword. I run towards someone who's hiding behind a tree with their gun, and they shoot it at me, and I dive to the ground holding my shoulder. Like it was a very like
Absolute
for my first
hero.
battle.
I do love ILARP dramatic fighting. And I
Yeah,
also
I
big
think
up-
it's really safe for the most part. Like everyone's like theatrical with the way they do
Yeah.
it, but also it still feels cool.
but also like big ups to like people that take the hits and actually go down.
Yeah,
and
absolutely,
die and
like-
stuff. Like absolutely 100%.
Like if you get shot, you go down.
I
Like,
feel less stressed at ILARP combat.
yeah, you don't
'cause,
have
like,
to count.
I'd have to count
points.
heroic abilities. I don't have to count hit points. I can just have a good old fun time.
it's like, hey, I just got hit with a sword. I'm probably pretty hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
The amount of people obviously like,
I think I might have sought more medical attention than most because it was my first time fighting, and I felt like, well, I've just been stabbed. I need to go see a doctor.
that's how I play it.
Yeah, you
Someone
know?
cut me with a sword
Yeah.
in my unarmored arm.
Like
Ow.
maybe occasionally I could say, oh, they just nicked it. Like, so that you're not just immediately falling down when you get into battle. Like, you can just take a couple of hits before you go down. But at the same point, as soon as I get out of that, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I managed to keep fighting. I switched my sword to my other hand, but I'm bleeding pretty badly here. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. That's what I'm always
Like,
like, yeah,
yeah.
my arms, how are you doing? Well, my arm's pretty messed up, but
Yeah, I managed to get some like decent fabric loot as well and got it back to the doctor. Petrol was given opium, I think, and was just basically staring off going, oh, look at the stars. Oh.
the star.
So in the end, well, I thought the waves had died down anyway, and then the doctor, I think it was the ship's doctor, was like, Petrol, you need to get back. And I was like, I'll escort them, I'll make sure they get back. And they're like, yeah, great, go back. And then we got back into town and the captain was like, did you just leave everyone there? And I was like, I needed to escort Petrol back. And I was like, hang on, did I do the wrong thing? I thought the battle was over. And then to be fair, they did come back like a minute later. So I was like, I thought the battle was pretty much over, but they were just, I had to give like an update to the captain on what was going on and how everything had gone. And I was like, okay, this is real.
Oh, dear.
So that was fun.
I love our silly pirate game.
Yeah.
We're just silly little pirates. We get nothing done. We're very unproductive.
I think we're very productive.
Well, I think that's the most productive thing I did that day.
We're most productive when trying to get a giant penis built onto a ship, apparently.
Yeah, I was trying to steal my crewmates.
That was one time. And they actively wanted to join.
One time so far.
Yeah.
Uh,
You can't have petrol.
I believe one of the fun things we did after lunch was there was some bad tattooist going around doing
God,
some
yeah.
hilariously bad
Oh,
tattoos.
they were so funny.
Like, for one person wanted a giant parrot. What they got was a giant carrot.
oh, carrot. I thought it was going to be a
No.
little bit more. I did see that someone wanted hold fast on their knuckles and they got hold fart.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I can't remember them all, but there was some
So
brilliant
is this someone going
ones.
around with like an eyeliner pen or something?
Yeah.
They were like,
Oh,
no, they're really good, my tattoos. I can do really good tattoos
So
there.
are these people going to have to draw those back on themselves next time?
The crew. Oh, I don't know which players.
I think
know,
a lot of them were crew.
Is that when Did Monsieur Lavender get his from that tattoo artist?
No, Monsieur Lavender got his from Cade, who says he can give some of the best tattoos on the island.
Is Monsieur Lavender going to have to keep drawing that on?
I think
Yeah.
Monsieur
A
Lavender will be
tattoo's a
happy to do
permanent
it.
thing.
So Monsieur Lavender wanted to show his eternal devotion to Avery, but how Avery respected him as his favourite. So he asked Cade to very nicely put on Avery's favourite on near his cheek, shall we say. What he got was Avery's bitch with a devil's daughter mark on it.
Oh,
It was
Christ.
absolutely fantastic. In fact, I might ask Oily, can we post the fantastic picture?
I wonder what Brandon thinks of that tattoo.
Well, he knows he's getting a second one, that's for sure.
Post it on our lovely Larps and Tarps page for everyone
We'll
to
get
see.
taken down for community guidelines. Too much flash on Facebook feed.
Can't handle it.
Oh dear, that was very funny.
It was very funny.
There was. I did. Props to the NPCs this weekend. The crew were fantastic. Like all the NPCs always.
It shows you how fast like rumors build as well. Because I got told that he had Avery's face painted on his ass. I was like, what?
Oh bloody hell!
That was beautiful.
Also, one of my crewmates told me that the Devil's Daughter is a harem for Avery.
Confirm or deny?
I can't confirm nor deny this information. If you want to know, come to Hoist and ask Avery.
Join the Devil's Daughter.
Avery's just their face.
Avery is the Devil's Daughter.
I did love Friday night Avery when they were actively hiding from me and Monsieur Lavender about the medals. And one point they thought they got away with it. All of a sudden, Monsieur Lavender's face in the window, me round the door, I was like, hello, Avery. Hello. Where are the medals, Avery?
Peekaboo, Avery.
You cannot escape us, Avery.
Oh Jesus!
When did we go on the excursion next?
So the next thing for me, was the French people we saw bustled into town,
Ooh la la.
Ooh.
trying to get our attention. Ooh la la, indeed!
Yeah.
And they were like, "Monsieur, monsieur, monsieur, monsieur,
Fromage.
we have found the monster. We have found it. Quick, quick, come quick!" So rassled up the crew. Got
You made the larp mistake of shouting in the middle of town. Who wants to come monster hunting?
Yeah, look, there's been I think a lot of people had quite a relaxed day. So I was like, monster hunt. And then the whole town came out. And we were like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And then
I did find,
the crew were like, this is just supposed to. This
I
is
just found it
it.
quite fun when we were a bit like, no, not this many people. And I just grabbed Petrol by the collar and was just like, no, Petrol, you've got enough trouble today.
And
Back to town.
The really funny thing was at one point, because we were limited numbers, I was like, you guys, come on, you can come. And they went, oh, guys. I was like, no, just you.
Yeah, he's like, oh, is that what happened?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we got,
yeah,
like, you know, a few meters away, and then just heard Bean shouting back. I was like, no, Petrol, back to town, back to
was
town,
very
I think
Petrol.
it was probably good you had a few members of the Devil's Daughter with you.
Yeah.
You didn't have the whole crew, but you had a few.
So we get to this clearing.
Yeah.
And we see a bunch of guys
It's quite suspicious.
all hiding, and they start screaming that we're monsters. And then, now, this might be my brain
Yeah.
messing something up. But I seem to remember we tried to approach carefully, quietly. They kept shouting monsters, and then I'm pretty sure someone from the Devil's Daughter just shot someone.
I can confirm nor deny.
Yeah,
this
cool. I
information.
thought so. So, yeah.
Me and Cade and the captain were trying to be quite sneaky with it and get round. I think Monsieur Lavender was probably there as well.
Someone shot someone, and then all hell broke loose, basically. So we had a massive scrap. It was a really good fight. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's probably the second best fight of the
Yeah.
weekend. Because me, Cade, and the captain went around some bushes, and to be fair, the crew were fighting fucking hard.
it was really
Yeah.
good. Because that first wave, when we were pushing them into the bushes, there was a few times where I'd wrap around and grab people.
Yeah, we wrapped round, but I was like kind of sword fighting and dueling.
Yeah, it was a point where it was all getting pushed in the bushes. And then I remember at one point I burst out the bushes, get someone. Then someone bursts out behind me. I'm like, oh, it was like very dynamic. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, I had to block Cade because he got shot.
Yeah.
I think it's the battle I did most of my healing in.
Yeah, it was really good stuff. And it was really good to, again, knowing people on the crew was really fun because you could just absolutely butcher them.
Oh, yeah.
Really
think
good fun.
That's a thing I like about ILAP as well. Like, you start to recognize the faces of the people who are crew, which means you have a lot less of a worry about killing the wrong people. or like fighting the wrong
Yeah,
people, and you
yeah,
know who are crew, or at least you know some of the people.
Well,
and like, yes,
well.
I know you. Like, you're fair game. I can stab you.
I ran afoul of that assumption on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So anyway, so we're fighting. We get rid of them all. We deal with them.
Yeah, it's a hell of a fight.
Really good fight.
I think I used most of my re-rolls in that fight.
Really, God, yeah, your bead pull thing.
Yeah.
Then we get to this little cauldron, and in the cauldron there is a human hand, I think.
And I think a few human bones.
A few human bones. So we're like, cool, more monster species cannibals. At this point, we're like, there ain't no monster. These people are just eating people and going crazy.
Yeah,
It's like the Wendigo from Folklore.
Yeah.
But then we thought, we've cleared them out. We've done a good job. And then
Wave number 2.
the friends came and said, what the fuck have you done?
Yeah,
Why have you killed our crew?
What have you done to our friends? Their friends are very similar to the people we just killed.
Oh, yeah. Must be twins. Lots of twins.
Yeah, exactly. Triplets, maybe.
Quadruplets.
Quadruplets, in fact, yeah. So the second group come out, like, what have you done to our friends? Like, whoa. They'd gone mad. They thought we were monsters. Like, what are you talking about? You killed our friends. And then the hell breaks out again.
Yeah.
Really good bloody
Kill
fight.
you too if you want us to.
Yeah.
We had to do a fighting withdrawal. I think it's true what they say. Fighting withdrawals are really hard.
But it was before we even got to that, because you remember the second one, we were fighting up the hill a little bit. I really enjoyed, so the good thing about musket fire is that you know it takes them a while to fire.
Yeah.
So I was watching, there's 2 people muskets and 1 person with a pistol, and they went bang, it's like, go. Because they can't reload, and it was like charging them, and then you get to the end of a bayonet, and you're like, oh no. So they're like fighting bayonets, cutting them down, and I get really messed up at this point.
Yeah, I admit, during that bit, charging up the hill in front of you, I dash up the hill. Suddenly, I see a flash of a musket pointing towards me. Now, it's one of those snap decisions. Do I charge and kill the person, or take the bullet, or do I get into cover? I decide as a smart doctor to get into cover. The closest cover was
me.
Branton.
Oh, meat
So,
shield.
it goes by a big bang, and I'm like, again, gripping, gut, fighting. The fight comes to an end, and I collapse on the ground, and then I, again, really going for it.
Did you at least patch him up after?
Well, I started to.
A ref gave me 2 cards,
Yeah.
and I was like, good. So I'm like lying on the ground, trying to read them, and then you came over to look after me.
I started to patch you up, and it's like, Belvedere, get your ass here. First mate's down, crew first.
Yeah.
Sorry, Branton, gotta
Yeah.
go.
Didn't begrudge you for that. It was fine. Yeah, you ran off.
There is a funny rule between the medics, like, there's the debate, do you heal your own crew first, or do you just heal anyone first?
We're pirates. You say
first.
No, we're pirates. You say we all heal each other at the same time, and if someone doesn't do that, you tell them off.
Yeah.
But you don't do that.
Yeah.
You heal your own crew first.
We're pirates and hypocrites.
We're pirates.
My
Exactly.
crew pays me.
Well, precisely. Yeah, no, like it's we're pirates. That's why I was trying to enforce a lot this weekend. We're pirates. We're scum. We're villains.
We're
like,
not meant to be like.
Yeah, never seen a
Too
bigger
short.
hide of scum and villainy. So yeah, I'm on the floor getting healed up, and someone kind of so there was one that basically needed immediate attention but no resources, and one that didn't need immediate attention but did require resources. So I got the one that needed immediate attention. So I got like quite a bit of role play done on that. And then my other card required 10 minutes of appropriate role play and some materials.
Being chased down by pirate hunters, or whoever these crazies were.
I get up, I'm like, I'm good, I'm fine. And then I full on like ragdoll stage floor slam onto the ground.
Oh, beautiful.
And everyone's like, stop being so dramatic, Branton. I'm like, just turn over. Yeah, my guts are open. And they're like, we should get you back to town. And Jacques, the lovely Frenchman that we'd saved earlier, picked me up and was like, right, we'll hobble back to town. And as we get around the corner, get him! More pirates just surge out.
Were they pirates? Pirate
hunters,
or just
rather.
randoms.
I think it was pirate hunters. I see a bunch of my crew go down, but I'm in no fit state to fight. And me and Jack are like going as fast as we physically can. And then we kind of push past. And then we get somewhere safe. We see 3 more coming up, and we just continue to leg it. Then Jack is eventually like, go! And I'm like running, like holding myself together as I run off. And that's all I know that happened, because I got back to town, ran around the corner, and just ragdolled, skidded across the floor, and got the most pirate response of everyone just going like, what? I'm like, pirate hunters, go help him. I'm really, help. And I got dragged over to a stall by where the chariot camps. and they were looking for bandages. And I really enjoyed really being like a real, and I was like, they're in there. And then people were going to get them, couldn't find them, and just like trying to stand up, collapsing on the ground, dragging myself through the dirt, pebbles going into my boots, like screaming. It's like scrabbling, pulling everything off the table, shoving the bandage, and just lying on the dirt, just in the ground as they patched me up.
How the hell did I
screaming.
miss this? I must have been in town at the same time.
It was really good. It was really good, like real overacted, like stumbling around.
We had Captain Lee who got shot down. It's like, do we heal them now, Morgana? Do we do surgery? Too late. Carry him all the way back to town. They're coming. Slamming him to the Devil's Daughters tavern and operate on him on the table.
Incredible.
It was great.
Oh, it's so good.
It was such a bloody good fight. The crew put 150% into that.
So I hear that it goes pretty badly. People start to come back in dribs and drabs, and then a little bit later, we're all standing there. Our cook is like holding himself together.
Yeah.
It's really hurt, trying to get seen to. And then we see our first mate coming back, being dragged up. We're like, perfect. And then someone goes as they go past, they've beheaded Carlos. And it's like,
Oh no.
oh. So our first mate was beheaded by the pirate hunters.
Oh, Christ.
And they like drop him into camp, and we're like, they die now. So it was a real cool moment. Then our cook died from his wounds because no one was able to get to him in time.
Oh, no.
God.
Um,
No wonder the chariot was so pissy this weekend.
pissy.
You kept coming and shouting at us.
We shouted at you before that. That was again. The diamonds are just getting shouted at this
Yeah,
weekend.
literally. It's like, what do we do? We're just little guys.
That's
like,
why you're easy to kick.
I'll sneak up.
Masters of espionage. Screw
Yeah.
everything up.
The charity just wipe away. We get bullied, but we just wipe away our tears with dollar bills and move on.
It just needs to be the Harry Potter meme. Why is it always you three? Just the chariot picture. The chariot.
So then we had
not the chariot.
It's definitely
the diamond.
I was
Sorry.
gonna say, It's
Diamond.
definitely Monsieur Lavender and Belvedere.
Why is it always
Why
you
is it always
two?
you two?
Oui. So that was our encounter. I don't want to move on to the next bit, which again was some really. Oh shoot! Our captain
Yeah.
and our carpenter, no, our blacksmith had been kidnapped as well.
Oh no!
So
They
our,
were taken.
our captain and blacksmith hadn't come back. Our first mate had been beheaded, and we were like, we need to go get him back, like now.
The diamond's really not doing. No, chariot's
Chariot.
not doing well.
Yeah, well, it was because most of us went on that mission, right? It's a good job you guys came along in the end.
Yeah. Where's the chariot? Oh, they're all dead.
Yeah.
Shit.
So
you're all French fops.
Yeah.
wee. So yeah, then there was some fun. There was some of my favorite bits of LARP. Some fun, intense, very upset roleplay.
Very intense.
So we rustle together as many people as we can.
So many Jimmies were rustled.
I don't know where our bosun's gone. Like, where's our bosun? Right, okay, I guess we're leaving without the bosun.
Yep.
And we start to march through the woods, going towards where we think we've been spotted. And then we find our bosun already there.
I think pretty much the whole town went.
Yeah. I had some nice moments with Captain Sarms this weekend, and this was one of them. We'd had
Yeah.
a few conversations, which was really good. And he was very much like, right, this is your ship. Come on, you take the lead. And then we found the bosun. I was like, perfect, bosun, what are we doing? Because our first mate was dead, our captain was missing, so that leaves him in charge.
Yeah.
So we're creeping through the woods, and we start making our way up through, moving our way through the ferns.
The pirates actually did something relatively strategic
Yeah.
and split in two.
So we split into two groups.
Hey, we did that, and you called us diamonds idiots.
When did you do that?
I literally said that we did that during our stealth mission.
That was stupid. So we split into two groups. Basically, we were like, we want some sneaky people and we want some overwhelming force. And the sneaky people are going to go to where Captain and the First Mate are. Overwhelming force is going to distract them.
I went with the sneaky force for some reason.
So we start sneaking up, and then we see like
Oh wait, I think I went with you for this. Yeah, I was there.
yeah, you were.
Too. I forgot about this.
As we start
because
going
I
up-
remember I went off to be stealthy because diamond, and I just see Belvedere at the top going yoo-hoo.
as we start to go off to be sneaky, as we go off to be sneaky and stealthy, we see a bunch more diamond, and they're like, hey, this is a sneaky party, you're well placed. So we start to sneak up around the outside. We see Captain Findlay Flayed is face down the dirt. We see that our blacksmith is tied up again. Our blacksmith, Leroy Jenkins, is tied up to a tree.
Oh, beautiful.
And we're trying to sneak our way around. And then the noisy party, they see them first.
Hammer.
And they start talking to them a little bit. And then I don't know who they saw, but they saw someone from us. And they were like, in the bushes there. And then they start to stab Finley whilst he's on the ground.
Oh, I couldn't resist just shouting, charge to the sneaky party. Tally ho! In we go. I'm really not a good medic.
Well, we sprinted in at that point because we're like, right, they've seen us. Game's up, get them. Oh, no, we had the first kind of fight. And we knew more were coming. So we got in. We managed to pick up the captain, but he was not in a good way. So we got surgeons attending him. I think the blacksmith was not as bad as the captain. I think they'd got some injuries, but they weren't too bad. There were so many nettles in that damn field.
I was wearing a skirt.
But they were like, it wasn't like bushes nettles. It was like individual stalks.
And because
like
it was getting
2
down,
foot,
you
you couldn't see them.
where they were.
Sprinting through them. And I was wearing like sailor slops. So like I had like 3/4 lengths on. So just my legs were just getting smacked with nettles, sprinting through killing people.
I had wellies and trousers. I was safe.
We really did though. We really cut through them. I was going through a lot of emotional rage. God, my characters are angry.
You're an angry boy.
God, I've got some repressed rage, clearly.
Yeah, like hearing you say, "Is this one alive?" Good, let me have him.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a bit of surgery and cut him. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna let Brandon do this.
Oh yeah, hearing you shout out, if any of them are alive, you let me know. Don't you kill them. I want to do that. I'm going to take my time with it.
Yeah, I was like very much like slowly driving my sword into people. I really take my time. Just being like, Brandon has snapped. Brandon has stopped being easy life Brandon and started taking a bit of like, maybe this piracy's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty enjoying this.
I remember whilst waiting for the next wave and being shouted at by Monsieur Lavender, Dr. Belvedere, don't be a hero. Pull yourself back, Monsieur. Just because this character, I just seem like I love being on the front lines, even though I'm not really a combat character.
It's very funny seeing the maniacal look in your eye as you're like, your wig is flying everywhere. Like, ah!
It's nice that I don't have responsibility. Like, if Nietzsche dies, I've lost so much work in gameplay. If this character dies, go in.
Pick up another guy. Yeah. But yeah, that was a really cool, like some nice emotional stakes for a fight, which I like. We've had a little bit at Hoist, but not like personal emotional stakes.
Would you not call Petrol being kidnapped an emotional
I mean, I had a
stake?
very emotional weekend.
When?
Yeah,
the first ever
one.
event. Well, not really. I didn't really know Petrol that well.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of them, because like they weren't like I didn't know Circuit too well. I didn't know Petrol that well, so it was kind of like obviously it was like, oh no, a pirate has been kidnapped. We'll get them back. Whereas this was the first time because
you got kidnapped in the second.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's what happens when you go to weddings.
everyone's been kidnapped.
I haven't been
I
kidnapped.
haven't been kidnapped. What's wrong with me?
You'll be kidnapped soon when you're with Petrol.
It's because you've always got
Yeah,
your
to be fair.
you've got you and
Daisy.
Daisy's character with the accordion. They just stay away.
Yeah, they're just seeing us sneaking up behind people and playing instruments.
But yeah, it was a really, really nice to have some like high emotional stakes to get people back. We managed to save our captain, managed to save our blacksmith, made our way back to town. It was like a real nice, like sequence. Like it was like, go to do a mission, find a bit of information out, fight, run. And then it was like a continuation from that. It's like, right, we still need to keep going because we've lost people. We need to go get them back. And that was really fun.
And then soon after that, I think when you guys were like in mourning, and then we at the Diamond Camp started playing the Chariot song, and I feel like that's the moment that Brandon started liking Adelaide, which is what led to him coming and like speaking to her a little bit later on. And I guess we'll get into that at the next. episode now.
Maybe we'll see how we go. But yeah, it was really nice. We could just hit and roll, like really
It's
gently.
not to do with the fact that it's like one of the only songs I can play on the ukulele that's piratey themed. But
But it was very like. It was just very. We were like in our
Yeah.
camp, and we'd laid our dead members in state, and we could just hear like almost like sorrowfully coming through the woods. We came and stood there. It was very lovely.
yeah, it was nice. You guys came over and joined in, and we all
Yeah.
like. And considering we'd had some tension earlier in the day, it was nice to like rebond the ships a little bit.
We just went back to the Devil's Daughter clubhouse and drank.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
I mean, we were also drinking.
I feel we were all drinking. I feel like as pirates though, I feel like you kind of
gotta
want to be at the
have
point where like you probably have shot most people on this
Yeah,
island.
you probably can like shout and fight with people.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna have a brawl.
I
in
know,
the evening.
it's like you
but
can-
then we're all part of the same team.
It's like you can see a scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where two pirates bump into each other, shout, shoot each other in the arm, look at the musket ball that's left, gone, "Ah!" and then hug. Like that's just like violence and
Yeah,
anger is just
basically.
part of being a pirate.
Yeah, it's like siblings, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can fight your siblings, and the next thing you know, you're playing PlayStation together.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But
Go
yeah,
to
it was-
Belvedere doesn't get angry; he gets even.
yeah.
He gets hungry.
I get both. You can do two things, Tom.
Can you? I can
Well,
only
I'm
do
gonna-
one at a time.
I'm gonna write scathing bard songs about both of you.
So I know Tom really wants to talk about.
The election.
Oh yeah, we had our ship selection.
We'd had our elections, and what we did on the chariot is we put forth who was going to vote,
Yeah.
showing our backs if you were standing as a candidate, and people would stand behind you.
Yeah, that's what we did.
And whoever had the
Very
most would win,
traditional.
but no one would know who got one. How did the Devil's Daughter vote for ship surgeon, Tom?
Yeah.
So, for a few of the roles, we did it normally. A few members of this crew would do a speech, and then we voted. Boatswain was won by Monsieur Lavender, out of all people. He got the popular vote for that one. Ship surgeon, however, is a little different. Now, we want ship surgeon to be interesting and know that the surgeon can use a knife, shall we say, and heal wounds very well. So, we have a practical test. Now, we don't do the test to heal people on the battlefield after combat or during combat and see who heals the most. No, the idea put forward by Captain Lee and Cade was to stab Norman and then heal Norman.
You didn't. Oh, God.
So, Norman was the previous head surgeon on the ship. I think he was volunteered / forced to do this.
I feel like Norman makes suggestions
And doesn't expect people
and then doesn't think about the suggestion.
Yeah.
They made.
So, the first part of the election, we go into the middle of town.
It was such a good spectacle. This was before we did our big monster hunting.
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I borrow a knife from Cade, the most jagged, serrated thing I can find. We both draw our weapons, and then it begins. So Morgana was my competition.
So you didn't, unless I missed it, you didn't outline the two things you were credited on. So the first mark was whoever did the worst
Worst damage.
wound. And the second one, like, and then obviously you had to patch them up. But it was kind of like consideration was given if you messed them up the most.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause you have to know a lot about how the body works in order
Yeah,
to be able to
yeah,
do a lot
exactly.
of damage. Yeah,
So-
that makes sense.
And also, the more damage you do, the more you've got to fix up. So it's a bigger challenge.
Yeah,
so-
that's it.
I didn't see the
quite
damage Morgana inflicted. I might have stabbed more Norman. Would you say 8 times as generous?
Have you ever seen?
Brutally.
Have you ever seen American Psycho?
No.
It just had the energy of Bateman with the axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was kind of maniacally laughing at the time
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So we stab up Norman. He falls to the floor from his bar stool. A crowd's gathering round. Then,
He's just on the ground as
Yeah.
you continue to stab.
oh yeah, I go and go and go. And then we need to go and get some traumatic wound cards from Johnny.
Yeah, so you, as you're messing them up and start surgery, I was like, someone was like, is there any crew here? And they're like, no. I was like, okay.
We need to take this seriously.
I ran over to Kitty, the crew. I was like, hey, Kitty, so surgery elections for the Devil's Daughter are
Oh, was it
happening.
Kitty you gave
Kitty.
it? Oh, good choice in wounds.
Surgery for the Devil's Daughter's happening. A surgery competition for the Devil's Daughter's happening. And basically the first part is they have to mess up the original ship surgeon as much as possible. You got any traumatic wound cards? And she was like, yes. She passed me 2 of them. I run back in. And this is when you were on the surgery step. I just placed them both down his chest. Never went, oh no. And then Johnny came over to me. He was like, did she give you one of the surgeon ones? I was like, no. He goes, and ran off.
So it was basically a flip the coin of who got it.
Oh, was it? Yeah,
I
okay.
called, I believe, heads. It came up tails. So I was the one who got the surgeon
You
card
did. You
afterwards.
fucked up. Yeah.
So we open our cards. Everyone's gathered round. It's quite a big crowd now.
There's Norman just bleeding
Yeah.
out on the ground.
So we read what we need: opium, the most short supply.
no opium.
I bear in mind, I have been, as a doctor, been given no healing utensils at all this weekend.
We had nopium.
We had no opium, indeed, and we're just there having the conversation with the Devil's Daughter crew. Do we really want to save Norman this much? Do we have the money to bring him back? And Norman's just like, This has been going on for about 5 minutes. Anyone got any opium? Anyone want to donate? Norman's just like, fuck's sake.
He's got a 15-minute timer on his life.
For fuck's sake, go in my pouch. I'll pay for my own opium.
The chariot that day, and like, we've lost so many people, and it's all very somber, and the Devil's Daughter just stabbed their own.
Yeah.
Should we heal them?
A lot of people were like, is it worth it? Oh, you had to pull beads.
We'll get to the beads.
Oh, we'll get to the beads later.
So we're going around. Anyone want to pay for Norman? Anyone want to pay some opium?
But also, it's like, we got opium on the ship, but we don't have the fizz wrap. I'm like, I feel like we could solve this very easily.
Yeah.
Just running around, and I was like, we were like, we've got opium, we'll sell it to you.
Yeah.
Norman bleeding out. We're doing like transactions.
Norman's
and deals.
paying for his own opium to save his own fucking life.
We do.
At one point, someone's putting coins on his eyes.
Yeah, I'm not dead. He's unconscious though, I think, right?
So we get everything we need. The surgery begins. I think what got you and a few people most like, right, time for painkillers. I just drink my own painkillers. Right, time to begin.
Oh, that was so funny that you literally just opened it and just necked it. Oh my god!
Make it look like it's going to his mouth. Oh no, there we go.
So funny.
This mate. Oh, I've really fucked you up, haven't I, Norman? I'm gonna have to remove this rib and
Just a
this
pile
rib.
of bones slowly appearing next to you.
Yeah, I had so much fun. Just like, you don't need this. Oh, a bullet. Oh, my house keys are in here. And just really hamming it up. Morgana's there doing like proper surgery. There's just me tearing bits out of Norman, adding new bits, sewing him up.
Frank and Norman.
And then,
Frank and Norman.
after about 10 minutes of this RP, blood's being poured all the way down him. I've got blood on my hands. It's fucking great. It's time to pull the beads. And after all this surgery...
So I think the idea wasn't it, that you both would both would pull a bleed, but it would be blind. No. Yeah, you both pulled a bleed, and then you revealed at the same time, right?
We both pulled red. So for those who don't know, black is back. White is you'll be all right, but you have a wound, and you've got to be like injured for the weekend. Red is dead. We both pulled red. So then comes the debate. Do we want to up the roll, or do we want to keep it the same?
Yeah, do you have a limited amount of times you can...
3.
Okay.
So you can only up the roll and save lives 3 times.
This must be like one
Would
of
you
your
both
last
have
ones,
to
right?
do that?
We would both have to do that to save
Okay.
Norman's life. And at this point with the players, like, look, dude,
Do
do you want to live? Because
Or would you, like, thematically find it, like, you know, enjoyable?
not gonna lie, I was very tempted to kill him off.
I just think it would have been so funny because then you did a kind of golden balls thing where it was like you both decide in your head what you're gonna do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
my
like,
gosh.
and you said it at the same time.
Yeah,
what
we
you were
both
gonna
brought
do.
him back, but it did take me a lot of prompts. Like, Norman, are you sure you want to come back? I am happy to kill you off
I
right now.
would love to kill you.
Well, he insulted my surgeon. Like, oh, this would be the perfect plot for story. But in my mind, it's like, right,
Oh, it's up to the play.
this is a player's character. It's also the
Yeah, like-
financial thing of they would have to buy new kit.
Yeah, it's a no-suit
Yeah.
decision. I mean, yeah, some, like, base kit is, like, adaptable.
Yeah, I think it was very good what you did. I don't necessarily think you have to consider that.
But it's like,
Yeah.
would I want to have bought all this kit and like, oh shit, some asshole for his jollies has just killed me off for the lol.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like,
I'd have done it.
the temptation was there then.
Nothing personal against you, Norman, but I'd have done it. I'd have been like, whoops.
I think if I was in the dying position, I'd have been like, fuck it, I'll read
Yeah.
I'm always
Hey,
making
look,
new
I
characters.
volunteered to have my guts ripped out by 2 surgeons, one of which I know
think
is a
that
psychopath.
would be quite thematic to die, and then come back as like your, you know, I'll do the, you know, what that thing that I'm planning on doing in Empire, where if my character dies, I'll come back as the long lost lover who's finally trying to reunite, and oh my god, they're dead just when I got here. Like, and just be really dramatic the whole weekend. I think that'd be hilarious.
I feel I did the right thing
Oh, yeah,
giving
yeah,
the
yeah,
choice.
yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, I wish I'd killed.
It was just very funny that you both, because it was, again, if one of you had upgraded and one of you hadn't, he still would have died, but the other person would have wasted their upgrade.
Yeah.
So it would have been, it was just, like I say, real golden balls situation.
yeah,
And then I had to open my surgery card
traumatic
from
wound.
Johnny. And I just looked at him and he just smiles the biggest shit into grin.
What's a surgery card then?
So a surgery card is something's gone wrong in surgery and you need to refix it or the character would die or something terrible would happen. Now, thinking back, I think I played this wrong, but I did it right for comedic effect. Me being a psychopath should have just left the ring I lost in him and just ignored it.
I wish you just looked at Johnny with the card and just like slowly slipped it in your jacket.
So how long would that have taken to kill him?
A couple of hours, but he would have died.
Yeah.
I should have done that looking back, but...
You had 2 opportunities to kill Norman.
Yeah, but it wasn't about saving Norman's life, it was about becoming the ship surgeon.
Yeah. But what was hilarious was just like, look at him. Manic grin on my face like, Norman, die, stab him up again. Just after we finished healing him to fish out my ring I lost in him.
And then you were able to
stitch him back up.
stabilize him.
It was so funny. Like, just
it was my event highlight.
Watching the whole thing unfurl was absolutely ridiculous. Big fan. You could have killed the creator of the NHS.
I could have.
And I'm so upset you didn't.
So it came down to the vote. It was neck and neck. So the captain voted for me for the most brutal assault on a person's life.
Then you did lose a ring
Cade
inside of him.
voted for Morgana. The deciding vote came down to Avery. And I believe they were umming and ahhing until Pisspot, goddamn you fucking Pisspot, whispered in the ear, do you really want Monsieur Lavender and Belvedere in the crew quarters? It's like, Morgana wins.
Oh no, that's so funny. This is revenge because Pisspot lives in the bilge.
Yeah, where we keep all the beans. Pisspot lives down there. And it was one of those things. I think I was gutted for about 5 minutes. And I was like, you know what? This is a lot that happens twice a year. It's a bit of fun. It's not like an Empire rule where you put ages planning.
I don't know why you're that bothered about having a hat.
You don't really do anything. You just...
Yeah,
Oh, no.
exactly.
Yeah, it's like, like what was my fault? It's like, you don't actually do anything. It's a nice bit of role play, a bit of extra.
The fun part is the role play around it.
And fuck me, the surgeon competition was amazing. I absolutely loved it.
When you do the same thing next year, it's not you who's going to get stabbed because it'll be the existing surgeon now. So it'll be Morgana who's getting stabbed.
I'm glad I could. I'm gutted you missed the surgeon's competition, but I'm glad you got to see Morgan.
Yeah, it was really good fun. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
So what about you, Kerry? So I kind of know that my next big thing for the evening. So where were you at?
So I would say since we were at, sort of singing and sitting around the fire and we were having a bit of a drink, some mystery shots Daisy had brought, including one incredibly spicy shot, which they warned us not to drink. But when you hear that and it's just a challenge, it's like, no, I can take my drink. Like I can have like a quite strong whiskey.
And then you're
like
that's not what you meant.
No, yeah, I'm thinking like it's like a strong alcohol. Like I'm like I can take that. And no, it literally burned. My lips felt like they were bright red. God. My tongue burning, and more people come over and you're just like, here, try this, and then Daisy's like, no, don't try it, and we're like, yeah, no, it's really spicy, try it, and then everyone else immediately regrets the decision, and it's just so funny. It's like once you've been through that pain and you're still going for it, the only distraction from the pain is to see the look on anyone else's face when they realise they have made the same mistake as you have.
Kerry, that was such a good villain speech.
Yeah.
When you've
Maybe
been
I do have
through the
it in me
pain,
after all.
the only thing that can get you through
Anyway,
is watching other people accept it too.
It was just before this that you'd come over and had a chat with me, or just sort of during this that you'd come over and chatted to me. So I think I say we've sort of bonded a little bit. You've decided actually maybe I don't hate this person. Like
I didn't in the first place.
Yeah, I mean you shouted at me, but I suppose you were drunk and Anyway.
I nearly shot you.
Yeah, exactly. You nearly shot me. But then you were like, actually this person deserves a heads up. So you pulled me to one side. You're like, look, I've heard that you quite like petrol.
No, you pulled me aside.
No,
you came to me and you said, because I was you were talking about confessing feelings.
No, you pulled me because you were like, there's something you should know. Come over here.
Yeah, no, because you said to me, I want to confess my feelings. And then I was like...
Oh, yeah, we might have talked about it earlier in the day.
Yeah.
And then you pulled me aside at this point.
Yeah.
I think I might have mentioned it earlier in the day.
Well, anyway, either way, I put you aside.
Either way, we were out to the side and you basically were saying to me, if you want to confess your feelings to Petrol, you need to do it tonight because I don't know if they're going to be alive tomorrow.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rumblings around. So there's been some communication with the Cutlass.
Yeah.
Like the 80 crew that was still on the ship.
A ship that was seaworthy and pointed towards our dock ships.
Could destroy all our ships. So yeah, there've been some talk of the Cutlass and basically Circuit's life like negotiation, and there'd been a lot of talk, a lot of back, like a lot of really fun like politics between the ships.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't really have much to do with this. I didn't know that was going on.
it was really cool to see it all happening because it was kind of like, you know, what are they going to ask us to pay? How much can we afford? Obviously, the Diamond's going to have to take a lot of this cost because it was their crew member and all this. And I just pulled you aside and I was like, if you're going to say something quick because I don't think you'll have more than tomorrow. Which was like a real nice, happy moment.
So I basically decided to do that pretty much straight away. So just before we had the spicy shot, really, because I remember I said to them something along the lines of like, "Look, Petrol, I've got feelings towards you," and Petrol's just like, "Oh, what kind of feelings? Like bad feelings?" And I was just like, "No, like good feelings. Like I want you to feel good, and I want to feel good with you together, like for a long time." And you know, like it's like stumbling around it like a teenager trying to confess that they like someone. But that was cute and all that. And then we do the spicy shot, and then Circuit runs off. And I'm thinking, fair enough, they've just had that spicy shot, they need to go find some water. Then they don't come back, like, straight away. And I'm just like, the longer they're waiting, like, I'm like, it's not spicy anymore. Like,
you scared them off.
I'm like, oh no, they've run off because I've told them, I've confessed my feelings, and now they've disappeared. But eventually they came back, and it turns out they'd been pulled in for, I think it was about discussions to do with this, and pulled in by the Santiana. And the captain wanted them to go for a repent to the Santiana because obviously it's the religious ship. So yeah, I think they'd been pulled in by the clerks to discuss things.
Oh yeah, okay.
So later on, I did go with them to repent at the Santiana, and that was interesting too. But yeah, when they came back after they disappeared for too long, it made me worry that they'd run off without me. They actually brought me a present, a little fan that matches their fan. So they have a little white lacy fan, and now I have a little black lacy fan with white roses on it, which is perfect for my flying lead character.
That's so sweet.
Sounds like your feelings towards Petrol and this are a lot different to mine. Avery went around the Devil's Daughter asking how much money we all had and how much we'd be willing, how much we would have to pay in reparations potentially for the Cutlass. Like, fucking Petrol, quarter them, hang, draw, and quarter them. No, they fucked us up.
It was the general sentiment around camp was like, yeah, kill them.
Like, to be fair, you say it's like the Diamond had to do the brunt of the payment because it was Petrol. The Marengo were helping Petrol. Petrol didn't do it on their own.
No, so everyone also agreed that the Marengo were completely innocent because Petrol attacked their captain. Petrol attacked the captain.
Yeah.
Fighting happened. The Marengo came out like, why are those people attacking Petrol?
Okay.
And killed them.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, that's
not how Petrol told it, but then that is Petrol.
Why would Petrol tell it any other way?
Yeah, everyone was kind of like, no one blamed the Marengo for saving Petrol.
Okay, that's why no one blamed them. Okay, that's fair.
Whether that is what happened, I don't know, but that's what everyone was saying.
Yeah, no, to be fair, that sounds fair. Petrol is one to...
I don't know when it happened. There was another brawl, which was a really good brawl to watch.
Yeah, Petrol started that one.
Well done, Petrol.
Yeah,
that was against Syphilis.
Syphilis, yeah.
I remember at one point, it's like, fuck, you know what? Fuck you, Petrol. I've had enough of your shit. Grabbed them by the arm and just punched them in the face for attacking Syphilis. To which then it erupted into a 30, 40 people brawl.
It was fantastic. Like, I got even more into it than I did the night before. Like, now that I had a bit of the experience behind me, I was like, I knew what I was doing. I was more comfortable. I like dove into, you know, there's that like tap next to where you go down to the diamond.
Yeah.
I fell into that at one point.
Oh yeah, I really got into this one now.
I think I was stood with Genevieve. I was stood with Cuffs from our chariot, just like watching, just like this is very funny. We were having a little chat and gossip, and she said, there's Monsieur Lavender. I was like, yeah, it looks all right. And then Daisy punched him.
Yeah.
What's Daisy's character called?
Esmeralda
punched him. I went, but hold this. Went in. I just punched Esmeralda in the face. Went back and got my drink. And then Monsieur goes, oh, pardon. The fighting has got my pulse up. Would you like to go disappear for really few minutes? I was like, you're all right.
We went round to the back.
And then we went around the back of the tavern and...
Fade to black.
Faded to black.
Yeah,
exactly.
There was a bit where I pretended to went in for a headbutt for Esmeralda. They went in for a punch and actually punched me in the nose.
My God.
You can see why Empire kind of restricts that, but it was so much fun.
It's just very funny. We could still hear the fighting because we were just obviously gossiping right behind back the tavern. I was like, so funny that we're just doing this whilst there's a fight. It was just getting off in the back.
I think I also punched Piss Pot in the face again.
Probably.
Brilliant. On purpose, though.
Who's to say? I can confirm or deny.
Tom is nodding vigorously. He said yes. He's mouthing, I'll do it again.
It was so much fun, like pretending to go and rugby tackle people.
Yeah.
We had the Vixen come up to us a bit earlier in the day and saying, there is a doctor on our crew who's killed more people than the Black Plague. We want them dead because they've been killing our own crew. I believe the name was Dr. Graves. So they come back later. So yeah, it was the Devil's Daughter's job to kill Dr. Graves. So we're in the tavern, they come in, we play some liar's dice with them, have a bit of a chat. All of a sudden, something you went to did was brought back into town, which caused a massive distraction.
Cool. Oh, so that was at that time. So we'll rewind to what we did, but we caused a big commotion in the middle of town around this time then, yeah.
So, when that's going on, the doors of the tavern close, the windows go down. Norman's meant to be defending the door, but I walk through not knowing it's about to happen. Crew just like, right, time for it. Your time's over, Doc. Grab him by the arm. Someone slits his throat. And then just me and another members of the door, I think it was Syphilis, just grabbed this crew member by the arms and legs, with the permission, of course, and just haul them out of the tavern and just chuck them into the back of the woods. And just go back to playing Liar's Dice. I actually bowled brass, take the money, and then just take the bet and continue rolling in their place. That's how professional
so
the Devil's Daughter is. Just like, bing, bang, bosh, done.
God, that's so good. Bloody hell.
All I did other than that was went with Circuit to repent to Santiana, which the captain of the Santiana just kept talking about planting potatoes. Like, make sure you're sorry to your captain, you're sorry to everyone, and blah blah, and just plant some potatoes going forward. And obviously, I'm sure it sounded a lot cooler coming out of their mouth, but my memory of it is just a lot about potatoes.
That would be such a... How was their penitence with Captain Sam's? Just talks about spuds, really.
Yeah,
You know,
really.
a bit
Like, that's
confusing.
how Adelaide would say it, honestly.
So I think at this point, I'm in the tavern at this point, and then the French come back into town with like lanterns, like, Monsieur, because they told us earlier when we got to the place before that the monster comes out at night in the dark. So they're like, Monsieur, quick, get the chariot. We think we know where the monster is. We think we know where it might be. So they gather up. We gather up the chariot, and we start to make our way into the woods with lanterns.
So dramatic, so immersed.
I love ILARP at night. Like, go through the woods. It's very dark. And we start making our way through, and then we see someone leaning against a tree, and someone next to them, like, oh, no, are you okay? And then we turn around, and we slowly coming down. So what's going on? And then someone in the woods be like, help! And we look, and we just hear this roar. And then the person gets just kind of ripped and thrown aside, then sprinting out of the bush, massive boar's head. Monster.
Boar's head?
The boar's head.
The tavern just comes out of the woods.
This boar comes out of the woods with massive claws and starts tearing into people. Takes like 10 shots. Like, bang, bang, just continually shooting it, slicing people up with like these horrifying, vicious claws running around. People doing everything they can. Jacques dies. We're like, there's massive brawls going on as we're kind of fighting around. After, like, again, everyone against this one thing that just wouldn't go down. Eventually, it goes down. Head comes off. It's just a person. Naturally, I say to the wind, hello, wind. Is that a person or is that a monster? And they were like, it's a person. And I'm like, guys, it's just a person.
It's just a guy.
It's just a person. And we're like, what's happened? And we're like, Doc, can you work out what's going on? And the surgeon comes over and then do a bit of an inspection. This is our ship surgeon, Ginger Jenkins. And she's looking it over and she's like, I'll have to get back to town with a bit more light. We'll do a
Public autopsy.
an autopsy. And we'll have a look inside the stomach, see what we can find. Because we see that they don't have claws, they just have knives, and they're wearing the hide of a boar. So I drag this corpse back to town.
Which is when you provided the excellent distraction for us to get to work.
Exactly. We drag this corpse back to town. Someone pulls up a bench, and we just bang, slam this corpse down. And then Kitty runs over with a bowl and a tea towel over the top. Or was it? No, it was Tobias, actually, from our ship. Runs over with a bowl with a tea towel over it, pops it on onto the creature's, the person's like chest.
Yeah.
And then the doctor gets a knife, slices down the middle, and then puts the hand in this bowl. And they start pulling out covered in white dripping goop.
Oh,
like
wonderful.
Bits. It's like they pulled out some sausage. And then they pulled out like fake fingers, and and then they pulled out a mushroom, and they're like, it's been eating the mushrooms. It's gone mad. They're like pulling bits out, and we're like, well, it was just a person. My hands and it was cold mushroom soup. So
Beautiful.
that really thick white consistency does not smell nice, but it's just like, that kind of like, when you get soup and it doesn't smell right until it's cooked, it smells just like pretty grim. And she's like, I need to wash my hands now. But it's just very cool to have this public autopsy. Everyone was just watching this person get cut open. Like, very cool.
I guess this was happening when I was talking to a priest about potatoes.
Yeah, probably was. A few more shenanigans happened.
But shall we talk about them next week? Roll them into Sunday.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Well, yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll be
Lovely
back.
to have you again, as always.
We shall be back next week with probably the final installment of Hoist the Colours.
So, yeah.
And then into Flying Lead Nightmare, baby.
Very excited for that. As usual, if you can rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you find this podcast.
I've noticed a massive influx of Spotify 5 stars.
No one's filling out the polls, though, so I can't read out any comments. Sorry, guys. They've all got so many slurs in them. Rate and reviewers, comment on YouTube, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell your friends.
Tell your family.
Tell your family. Well, it depends what your family are like.
Maybe not if they don't like swearing. We swear a lot.
Apparently so. If you want to support us,
fucking don't.
you can find us on Patreon at LARPs and Tarps, and we've also got our Real Play D&D podcast, Fable Top Tales, which is releasing every 2 weeks now. We're back on schedule for that now. So thank you very much for listening. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye, friends.
Bye.